Hello guys, and welcome back to the second part of the tutorial. In this lesson I'm going to be teaching you about the tags to start with in PHP, and I might go into the echo statement. Now I told you I'm not going to go too much into depth into these statements, but I think it deserves to be explained a little bit because we'll be needing it and you're going to be like, oh, what's he doing? So if you just follow these first few tutorials, you'll get a bit of a foundation going, and you'll be able to see what I'm doing and understand, and you can build on top of it if you like. So without further ado, let's dig in. So you've downloaded Notepad++, and hopefully you've downloaded and installed correctly XAMPP. Ignore that. XAMPP. And the easiest way to test if you've downloaded and installed XAMPP correctly is if you open up your internet browser and you just type in localhost. Now you might need to put HTTP in before that, depending on your browser how old it is, and just hit enter and it'll ask you for a password. Actually it might not. The default is without a password. You have to have this set up. So the default, in case you do, the default username is root, ROOT, and the password is password, PASSWORD. Okay, now we're in XAMPP. That is the test to see if you have XAMPP installed. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go into security, and change these default settings at this address here. So current password, which is password, new password, whatever you want, and that's to protect your server from any prying eyes, or if you're very paranoid. A lot of people are out there. It just keeps other people out of your database. And the same with this one. And by the way, do not save it as a plain text file because it defeats the purpose of putting a password in there, because people just go into that plain text file and have a look at your password. So same with this one, default user and password, and then save your changes. Okay, so let's have a look at where we're up to. Okay, so you've downloaded everything, everything's installed correctly. First thing, okay, tags. PHP is a lot like HTML. You need tags, or any programming language, mind you. Whereas in HTML is obviously the HTML. PHP uses the same opening and closing tags. However, it's a little bit different. Open, question mark, PHP, and enter a couple times, and at the bottom all it is question mark and close. That's all it takes for PHP. And if you save this file, save as, same as any programming language, well, it's not really the language, it's the server. Index is always the base level. It's the first document the browser goes for or the server goes for when you type in a website name. So if you save it as index, and this is important, .php, otherwise it will save it as a plain text file. Hit save, you won't get that. Okay, it's recognized that it's PHP now, and you can see the tags have lit up red. Any matching words in Notepad++, so if we just write name, and same again down here, name, if you double click on one of these, it'll highlight that word throughout your document as many times as you have it. So if you're trying to find a word, that's the easy way to go about it. I've just saved you so much time looking. And the other tip I have for you, if you've just started this up and you go into the middle of your code and you start typing in, alright, I want something in before this, I want to write first name. If you start typing in and it's getting rid of anything you had after that, it's because it's made a, if you have a look on your keyboard, but to the right of the backspace or above the delete key, on standard keyboards, there's the insert button. If you hit that, that'll change that. So whereas before when we had name, we can now go in and write first. Oop. So that's that taken care of. I've saved you a lot of time googling. Okay. Echo statements. Unlike HTML, when we print something, or if we want something to display on the screen, we can just write whatever we want in here. So if we write hello world and save that, and if we open up our web browser, and before I jump ahead too far, I forgot to tell you guys, when you save in Notepad++, if you want to have a look at it on your server using XAMPP, you have to save in a certain directory. Now that directory is in my computer. If you just go into C drive and you scroll down to XAMPP, inside htdocs, this is where the server is based off. So anything you put in here, it'll you can look up that in your browser. So I've just made a sample folder here called login. You can do the same, and that's where I saved my index file. Okay, so now we've got that out of the way. If we save this hello world in the HTML and we bring that up in our browser, it says hello world. But inside of Notepad++, with PHP, it's not that simple. You can't just write hello world. It's built a little bit differently. I'll save that and I'll have a look at it, and I guarantee 100% it'll throw you out a passing error. So the error is it's an unexpected string on line 4. And the beauty about PHP is if you have an error, it'll tell you what line it's on and what the problem is. So if we come back, line 4, okay, we can see the problem. So how do we get something to print out in PHP? Well, we use something called the echo statement, and echo is built into all PHP, or any servers running PHP. So we write echo, 2 single quotes, and a semicolon. Now we can type anything we want in between these in single quotes, and that'll print out on our HTML on our browser. So if we write hello world in this now, we save that, and we just come back into our browser and we refresh the page. Hello world, easy as that. Now it gets a little bit more technical than that when we start introducing variables and you just in concatenation, and even actually I'll teach you one now. When we use the echo statement, things like backslash or forward slash, or even if you want to, if you have a word like phone. Alright, what if you want to make that plural? Apostrophe S. You're confusing the server, the browser, the server actually. It thinks that it goes from there to there. The echo statement runs from there to there, when in fact it runs from there to there. Well, how do we fix that? We have to use something called escaping. And what escaping means is if we put a slash there, and that's the backslash. Yeah, it's a backslash. That says, alright, I want you to ignore this. This is just a bit of a text string. I want you to ignore that. The actual statement goes from here to here. That's all I have for you for this tutorial. If you'd like to learn more, follow the next one. Bye.